And then what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
You think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
That's about the game too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
talk
seriously.
about basketball.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What do you think of just how you all were able to pull away in the second half, Caitlin, in
We're
particular?
going to the Commissioner Cup Championship.
Let's
That's pretty
go!
exciting. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's talk about that.
What do you think, again?
What if we told you Caitlin Clark might actually leave the WNBA after just one season? Yeah, one season. Pack it up, drain one last logo 3, and dip. Between referees missing calls like they're auditioning for a circus and Marina Mabrey throwing fouls like dodgeballs, Caitlin may have finally had enough. Is this the League of Dreams? Or a reality show gone completely rogue? Grab your popcorn, because if this rumor is true, the WNBA is about to lose its biggest star faster than a ref misses a blatant foul.
NBA record. This is her second season. And you put the numbers together, that's like 10 seasons. That girl did it in 10 seasons. That means she had one a season. Caitlin Clark is... when Caitlin Clark gets to 10 seasons, she's going to have 100 of these. And y'all can't get a girl her roses. Now, I don't like the fact that she be getting woke because she don't want all these lesbians to be mad at it. At the end of the day, is the woman putting in the work, she's putting in the work.
And now it's official. Fans are done watching Caitlin Clark play sacrificial lamb for a league that can't decide whether it wants to grow or gatekeep. For the second straight season, she's the lead character in a drama that still expects her to pass the ball, smile for the cameras, sell out arenas, absorb cheap shots, and thank her haters afterward. Fans aren't just frustrated anymore, they're furious. The Protect Caitlin movement has gone from online complaints to a full-blown emotional custody battle between the people who love her and a league that keeps treating her like a chew toy.
This is all going according to plan. This is ideal. Caitlin Clark is holding up her end by being awesome and by being a trash-talking jerk on the court. Love it. Her teammates are holding up their end by having her back. The other players in the league are holding up their end by not liking her. Perfect. Couldn't have written a better script. Caitlin is talking trash to this girl's hard fouling her. Her teammate Sophie Cunningham, who got a black belt in Taekwondo at the age of 6, she's like, I will F you guys up. All of it's great, and Caitlin's a killer. 10 out of 10.
Let's start with the obvious. Caitlin Clark is the reason the WNBA is even talked about outside of Tuesday night Twitter arguments and high school gym throwbacks. Ratings are up. Jersey sales are through the roof. Arenas are selling out in cities that didn't even know they had a team. She's the walking, talking, logo-shooting lifeline of this league. And how does the league respond? With sketchy referee calls, cold shoulders, and more elbows flying than a WWE Royal Rumble.
Clark is driving the WNBA insane. It's to the point that she may need to step away from the WNBA, have a billionaire come in that has the money to prove a point, and say, Caitlin, I'll pay you $50 million just to see if the WNBA can make it without you. Let's go create a completely different league and expose the hell out of the WNBA just to embarrass this Angel Reese girl that Jameel Hill just said she could go down as a Michael Jordan of WNBA.
Remember when people said she was being welcomed into the league like every other rookie? Yeah, if by welcomed, you mean getting mugged at midcourt while referees whistle Dixie and stare into space like they dropped their glasses in a Looney Tunes episode. Caitlin doesn't need a welcome party. She needs a security detail and a chiropractor. And then there's Marina Mabrey delivering a late-game shove like she's trying out for a linebacker position. That foul was so aggressive the NBA probably sent her a contract by mistake. Of course, Caitlin pops right back up, because at this point, getting hit is just part of her warm-up routine. Stretch, shoot, dodge an elbow, repeat. And here's the insane part. When Caitlin breathes too close to a veteran, she's called entitled. When she gets hammered, it's just basketball. If she reacts, she's dramatic. If she doesn't, she's cold. She could rescue a puppy at halftime and still get criticized for not passing it to a teammate instead.
I will say this, when Caitlin Clark was out, they lost 55% of their viewership. So, like, basically, Caitlin Clark is paying all their salaries.
Pretty much.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can hate her as much as you want, but she's brought in millions of fucking dollars. So you should be kissing her ass.
And that kind of defeated the purpose of Angel Reese's argument of she's like, hey, it's not just Caitlin Clark that is bringing all the viewership to the WNBA. It's like, well, it definitely is. It's like it kind of proved that with the viewership rating being down that she significantly increases viewership with
They try so hard to compare her to Caitlin Clark. They try.
Meanwhile, the fans are running digital CPR on the league. Every time someone clocks Caitlin like it's amateur night at Fight Club, fans rewind the footage frame by frame like it's the Zapruder film, screaming, "How is that not a flagrant?" The refs stay silent. The league is louder about dress codes than player safety. Now fans aren't just asking if Caitlin Clark should stay, they're begging her to leave. Imagine her overseas, paid, protected, respected. Basketball being basketball, not a high-stakes experiment in how much abuse one superstar can take before she snaps. Let's be real, the WNBA is running a Caitlin Clark content farm and feeding her the same mess every week. Unnecessary drama, bad calls, zero protection. Everyone sees it. Even the haters secretly check the schedule because love her or hate her, Caitlin Clark is the show. And nobody wants to keep watching the main character get sabotaged every episode. She's brought more to this league in 2 seasons than some franchises have in 2 decades, yet she's treated like a guest at her own party. Even the promos are awkward. Come watch Caitlin Clark and the others. It's like Beyoncé and a very confused Destiny's Child. No shade, just facts.
And son hold a brawl and a basketball game breaks out. This was something. Caitlin Clark, without question, gets raked across the face. I think she gets poked in the eye, but it's difficult to tell.
If you're the Indiana Fever, you cannot stand by and let that happen. They need to make it clear to the officials. If you're going to let this happen, then we're going to stand up for our player and make a mess of the game, and you're going to have a big mess on your hands. So you need to stand up for this. You need to do something about this.
You've just learned with definitive data and beyond question that Caitlin Clark controls more than half the audience for the entire WNBA.
And let's not forget the constant gaslighting. It's not that bad. She's being dramatic. She needs to earn her stripes. Oh, really? Because last time we checked, she's earned more stripes than a zebra in a barcode factory. She's averaging 25 points, 8 assists, and about 12 microaggressions per game, and still doing it with a smile. What more does she need to do, levitate? Fans aren't stupid. They see the double standard. They see how the league bends over backward for some players while casually tossing others under the bus. They notice the 4 storylines, the passive-aggressive interviews, the locker room politics. And they're exhausted. Tired of watching Caitlin fight for space on a team she helped build. Tired of watching her get snubbed in all-star voting like it's a middle school popularity contest. If she leaves after the season, it won't be because she couldn't handle it. It'll be because she recognized she was being played. And honestly, leaving might be the power move of the century. The league that can't stop talking about her would suddenly face a very quiet reality. No packed arenas, no record-breaking streams, no casual fans tuning in just to see what she does next.
We're expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion, but not like this. This news is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA.
So what happens then? They roll out promotional bobbleheads, push 2-for-1 ticket deals, paint inspirational quotes on the court, and hope people forget. Spoiler alert, they won't. The moment Caitlin Clark walks away, the WNBA becomes a trivia question again. Hey, remember that league that had that superstar for a minute? Whatever happened to them? And spare us the she should stay and tough it out crowd. She's already toughed it out. through media backlash on court assaults, referees with oatmeal for eyes, and players more focused on guarding her success than winning games. At some point, toughness stops being the answer. Self-respect is. And how is the league not capitalizing on this moment? Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation star, relatable, marketable, and somehow still humble after being treated like a human piñata. You'd think they'd be rolling out red carpets and building real campaigns, not graphics that look like they were photoshopped in 2003. Instead, it's more shade, more hits, more wasted opportunities. Fans have had enough. They're not just watching games anymore. They're watching out for her. Posting clips, calling out nonsense, demanding accountability like unpaid interns in the Caitlin Clark PR department. And if she walks, she won't be walking alone. She'll take millions of loyal viewers with her. The ones who buy tickets, stream games, wear the merch, and scream every time she touches the ball.
I am sick and tired of the way they are treating my girl, Caitlin Clark. I am here to propose a solution. I think they need an enforcer. You know, someone who comes off the bench to kind of lay the smackdown on an opposing team member. I want to get the word out to the Indiana Fever that I am available. I'm ready to identify as whatever I need to in order to get the job. They need someone like me. Why? Because I'm not afraid of any 6-foot tall lesbian. I work out. Now, I have a couple of real good go-to moves in my bag of tricks.
If the WNBA wants to keep her, they should probably start acting like it, because right now it's giving ungrateful roommate energy. Fans are ready to pack her bags, drive her to the airport, and cheer as she boards a plane to anywhere that actually respects greatness. In a league starving for attention, Caitlin Clark was the feast. But if all she gets in return is crumbs and chaos, don't be shocked when she decides she's full. And just when you think it can't get more absurd, here come the ESPN think pieces, bending themselves into Olympic-level pretzels trying to explain why Caitlin getting shoved like she owed someone lunch money is somehow her fault. Yes, really. Apparently, talking trash in professional sports is now grounds for getting launched across the court like a gym towel. Forget the shove. Forget that Caitlin didn't retaliate, didn't flinch, didn't escalate. She walked it off, stayed locked in, and kept playing basketball. Meanwhile, commentators are out here acting like they cracked the Da Vinci Code because she once smirked after hitting a deep three. She brought it on herself, they say, as if she requested a body slam between possessions. Here's a wild idea. Maybe trash talk is part of the game. Shocking, right? It's sports, not Sunday brunch. Michael Jordan did it. Kobe thrived on it. Larry Bird practically weaponized it. But when Caitlin Clark does it, suddenly it's treated like an open invitation for players to abandon basketball and start auditioning for MMA. Even rival players, actual competitors who'd love nothing more than to shut her down, have come out and said, yeah, that shove was out of pocket. These aren't teammates. These aren't fans. These are opponents who still understand the difference between physical basketball and straight-up thuggery. And somehow they sound more reasonable than analysts who get paid to pretend they've ever touched a basketball. Because, let's be real, if Caitlin had even thought about shoving back, it would have been everywhere. Every show, every headline, probably a dramatic reenactment on Lifetime. Out of control rookie finally snaps. But she didn't. She kept it clean. She kept it classy. And somehow, they still found a way to blame her for getting pushed. That's like blaming a mailbox for getting hit by a drunk driver. Well, it was standing a little too confidently on the curb.
Caitlin Clark has decided to quit the WNBA and move on and go play over in Europe. I do not blame her. I applaud it. I say do it. Get as far away from the WNBA as you can. Let that league sink. Okay, do not help them. Caitlin, get away. I believe you could create your own league, okay? You could be the fucking player that creates whatever, the next professional women's basketball league. Let this one just go and let Caitlin try to build the next WNBA.
The mental gymnastics here deserve Olympic gold. She's too confident, they say. She plays with attitude. Yeah, so does every elite athlete in the history of sports. That's the point. But Caitlin's confidence is somehow a problem. In this twisted version of reality, she's expected to take hits, take blame, and take a vow of silence, all at once. It's almost impressive how consistently the blame gets flipped onto her. Marina Mabrey delivers a full body shove. Caitlyn stays composed, and somehow she's the villain. What's next? Someone elbows her in the face, and we get a segment titled, "Did Caitlyn lean into it?" You can hear the hot takes being brainstormed already. Was her posture antagonistic? Did her shoelaces send the wrong message? Meanwhile, Mabrey gets treated with kid gloves, defended like a misunderstood poet instead of a grown professional who crossed a line. And it's not just the analysts, it's the tone. The passive-aggressive headlines. The lukewarm breakdowns that read like PR statements written by someone who once glanced at a basketball and panicked.
What's your opinion, because it's been a minute, on this Angel Reese, Caitlyn Clark stuff that's been going on? Brittany Griner a couple of weeks ago in a video says trash effing white girl when she was playing Caitlyn Clark. What's your just kind of 30,000-foot view of this?
There is not an organization more dedicated and committed to self-imploding than the WNBA. The WNBA was like handed the golden egg that is Caitlyn Clark. Yeah. And they have done everything to just self-destruct. Yeah. Whether it's these totally crazy, like, racial investigations that have been proven a hoax.
And you know what really has fans seeing red? Caitlyn Clark hasn't asked for anything. No press tour. No sympathy tour. No subtweets. No victim act. She just shows up, game after game, takes hit after hit, and keeps performing like a professional while everyone else tries to spin the narrative into a soap opera where somehow the villain is the woman averaging 25 a night and keeping the league relevant. Let's be honest, if Caitlyn Clark had thrown that shove, she would have been ejected on the spot, suspended by sunrise, and dragged through a full-blown media circus as everything wrong with the league. But because she absorbed it and didn't react, she still gets framed as the problem. Because apparently she didn't smile enough while getting mauled at midcourt. Fans aren't stupid. They see the double standard stacking up brick by brick. One rulebook for Caitlyn, another for everyone else. One for the player bringing in the money, the views, the ratings, and somehow still not worth protecting. And yet she keeps playing, keeps showing up, keeps carrying. It's enough to make your blood boil. The league is sitting on a generational talent, someone who sells jerseys, packs arenas, and inspires the next wave, and they're treating her like the designated punching bag.
Clark did her thing. Coming off of the injury, she returned for the Fever, and I swear I am not being hyperbolic. We were immediately gifted one of the greatest halves we have ever seen in the WNBA, and I say that with all context involved. This series from Caitlyn Clark, the pull-up three here, and you are about to see back-to-back-to-back triples for Caitlyn Clark in this game. I am not trying to erase the things we have seen from Maya Moore, from Diana Taurasi, Asia Wilson's 53-point game, Stewie, Cynthia Cooper. Like, we have seen incredible halves of basketball, but you see Caitlyn Clark coming off of that made three from the Liberty. Pull up, of course. She's making it in that.
And when she doesn't flinch, when she handles it with composure and class, they still twist themselves into knots trying to make her the issue. At this point, they'd blame her for global warming if it bought them 10 seconds of airtime. So when fans say they want her to leave the WNBA, it's not because they want her to fail. It's because they want her to survive. They want her somewhere she can thrive without being turned into a scapegoat for everyone else's insecurities. Somewhere that respects what she brings instead of rewriting every moment into a lecture about knowing your place. Because here's the truth no amount of spin can hide. Caitlyn Clark isn't the problem. She's the mirror. And a lot of people in this league clearly don't like what they see staring back at them.